Hey guys, Swordsman here, bringing you some Operation Firestorm gameplay. I hopped into this game with Ampact and James Monty, two pretty cool guys, you know, and we decided to play some Rush. I picked to spawn us into Firestorm because I've never played on this map yet. It's been all this time and I haven't had this one come up in any game mode, so I drove towards the red things, hopped out, and planted an MCOM, so that's not a bad way to start. Try to pick this guy off, get an assist, and I kind of, yeah, there it goes. I kind of missed the fact that that wall kind of wasn't there, but, oh, did you see that? Did you see it? Somebody unlocked the mortars. Oh, man, I've been looking forward to that for a long time now. You were never able to use them in the beta or alpha, and then I've seen people using them so far, and they seem really neat, and, you know, I went for it, you know, I wanted to unlock him. I just killed this guy here, and I'm like, where's a good place to set this thing up? And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to put it up on his dead corpse right here. To deploy these things, you do need to find level ground, but that seems to be about standard for every piece of equipment that is deployable in Battlefield 3. When it turns that little glowy golden color-ish, you can deploy them. Now, an understanding of how they work is, from where you place the mortar, you have basically a bit of a donut-like frontal arc in front of you where there is a minimum range that the mortar has to travel before it can detonate. So you can't call like danger close right on top of you and have them just raining down like feet from you and stuff. You need to have them a reasonable distance away from you for them to fire. And then again, there is a limit to how far away they can go. So you can't just, in theory, stay at the back of one deployment and just keep launching them from the same spot over and over again. You will have to move up and progress as you go. Now, with that said, there are two fire modes available immediately upon unlocking the mortars. You can either fire for effect with the explosives, or you can go for the smoke. And being able to use both alternating can be very useful. There, I got a vehicle disable with the normal grenades, or well, explosives, not really a grenade. But on Xbox, at least, you push left on the D-pad for explosive, right on the D-pad for smoke, and you can quickly and effectively alternate. And it seems to be pretty cool. Not gonna lie, this was the first time I whipped them out, so I was kind of just playing around like a kid in a candy store here, you know, just dropping mortars and stuff, having fun. At the top of the screen, you can begin to see the trails where they are landing and stuff. It does seem to have a reasonable quick effect on target from the time you launch them or click your mouse or click your right trigger or left, whatever. It does seem to be reasonably quick in the time it gets there. But you need to realize that these things are not pinpoint accurate. You cannot. I've had people lined up right in the middle of the crosshairs before, and it won't kill them. So they do seem, in that regard, reasonably balanced to me. They are not an accuracy weapon. These are not marksman tools here. They are a proximity type detonation of explosion and smoke, and you take the good with the bad, so to speak. I have found them to be reasonably ineffective when aiming for specific infantry on the ground, but I've found them to be their most useful against tanks that are sort of like in a stationary firing position, putting down shots onto your teammates. Typically, in my experience so far, is that when you'll get a lot of disables, but fewer kills because, I mean, let's face it, Battlefield 3 with the disable mechanic, it basically says, okay, get out of your tank now, you're going to die. So it sort of robs you of the kills, but, you know, it is what it is, as Athena likes to say. You know, there's really not much you can do about it. It's anyone that tries to deal with a vehicle has to deal with the disable, and then they just bail out type syndrome. But I've had a lot of fun with this. As you can see, the mortar, it just brings up this simple little map on the left side of the screen. You can move your crosshairs around and sort of aim where you want. And there I got a kill on an infantry. I'm going to come out here for what I think would be my third tank disable in this round here. There we go, vehicle disable. Going to drop another one. Will I get a kill? No. No, they bailed. As always, the more your teammates are spotting enemies and targets for you, the easier it'll be. This clip here is a more meaningful situation. This tank right here that I am dialing in on was a very high level tank. I think he was level 27 or 28. He seemed to have the majority of the tank unlocked, and so he was just decimating our own aircraft, and he had the AA stuff set up on his tank, and getting rid of him became very vital to our team's success, because we just had to get rid of him. There you saw a couple mortars from me, and I presume a couple, an RPG or two from the infantry further up, and we were able to take out that very powerful tank and get him off the battlefield for a few minutes. This right here, what you see me trying to do, I'm trying to provide cover for my squad that's moved up. But with the general inaccuracy of the mortar, this can prove to be a little bit tricky than what you might expect when you see it in action with somebody else. There I got an infantry, but again, it can be pretty tricky. As you can see on the map there, my teammate did move in to arm the MCOM, and I'm going to try to defend it as best I can, but it's sort of like threading a needle. You might get lucky, you might not. Every time an enemy fires, you get a glimpse of them. If somebody spots them, they'll show up, but it's very hard to sort of guesstimate where you need to put your shots to fire for effect. Here you'll see they just disarmed it just as I was dialing in for another shot. If I could have been a little bit closer, I probably could have saved that, but there I go. I died, and that was the end of me. One thing that does seem to balance the mortars is that if any enemy gets within line of sight to you, you're dead. I mean, there is no defending yourself. You are basically standing upright. Well, I guess maybe crouched over a little bit, squatting. And there's just when you are in the machine, you are dead. So if you don't come out of it and try to defend yourself. So I enjoy the mortar. Hopefully you guys too, do as well. I mean, I have fun using it. I know it probably doesn't make for the most entertaining of videos, but it is a very, very neat tool to have on the battlefield, and I'm glad it's included. It's just a nice little bit of freshness that I've never really gotten to experience in that implementation in a game before. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed.